The world had seen many legendary fights, but nothing like this. A clash between two of the most dominant forces in combat sports. One, a ferocious brawler with fists that had sent giants crashing to the mat in mere seconds. The other, a master tactician with a reach like a coiled serpent and the instincts of a predator. Mike Tyson, the former undisputed heavyweight champion, a man whose very presence in the ring once struck fear into the hearts of his opponents, stood on one side. On the other, Jon Jones, a mixed martial arts genius, undefeated in spirit, a fighter who had outclassed and dismantled the greatest names in the sport. This wasn't just a fight, it was a collision of eras, a battle between power and precision, raw aggression and calculated destruction. The announcement alone had sent shockwaves through the combat sports world. Analysts, fighters, and fans alike debated endlessly. Could Tyson, whose name still carried weight like a sledgehammer, bridge the gap against a fighter who had never been outclassed in his domain? Could Jones, accustomed to grappling and kicks, handle the sheer, unrelenting force of the most feared puncher in boxing history? Every argument, every discussion came back to one undeniable fact: this fight was impossible to predict. In the weeks leading up to the fight, the tension thickened. Tyson's training footage surfaced, his punches still thunderous, his movement sharp despite the years gone by. The man who had once been called the baddest man on the planet had not lost the fire in his eyes. Jones, ever the strategist, studied every fight, every move Tyson had ever made. In the gym, he worked on countering the onslaught, using his reach, his speed, his adaptability. His game plan was a puzzle only he understood. But would it be enough when Tyson stormed forward like a wrecking ball? The weigh-ins were electric. Tyson, compact and powerful, eyes locked onto Jones like a hunter who had found his prey. Jones, towering yet eerily calm, smirked, as if daring Tyson to try what had worked so many years ago. There was no trash talk, no theatrics, only an unspoken promise that inside the ring, neither man would hold back. Fight night arrived, and the energy in the arena was indescribable. Legends sat ringside, the air buzzing with excitement and uncertainty. No one could say with confidence who would walk out victorious. As the fighters made their way to the ring, the crowd erupted. Tyson's walkout was a reminder of his terrifying prime: silent, no theatrics, only a slow, purposeful march to the battlefield. Jones followed, his expression unreadable, his mind a fortress of preparation. The referee called them to the center. The moment they stood face to face, the entire world seemed to hold its breath. Two fighters, two legacies, one defining battle. The bell was about to ring, and when it did, history would be written. The bell rang, and the arena pulsed with anticipation. Tyson moved first, a slight forward lean in his stance, his muscles coiled like a predator ready to strike. Jones, taller and rangier, took a measured step back, gauging distance, hands loose but poised for a counter. For a second, neither man threw a punch. The energy in the air felt unstable, ready to explode at the slightest provocation. Then, in a flash, Tyson lunged short, explosive steps cutting through space faster than expected. His left hook ripped through the air, aimed at Jones's ribs like a sledgehammer seeking steel. Jones barely avoided it, his reflexes razor-sharp, but even the near miss rattled through him. The crowd roared at the sheer force behind the swing. Tyson wasn't here to dance. He was here to destroy. Jones flicked out a jab, a quick probe to keep Tyson honest, but the former heavyweight champion didn't flinch. Instead, he slipped outside the punch and fired back a right hand that crashed against Jones's shoulder, a near miss that still carried the weight of a wrecking ball. Jones understood now. There was no warming up, no feeling out. Tyson fought in bursts of violence, and the only way to survive was to control the chaos. He circled left, forcing Tyson to move, making him chase. Another jab, another, then a sharp leg kick, a strike Tyson was less accustomed to dealing with. The impact made Tyson hesitate for a fraction of a second, just long enough for Jones to fire a straight right down the middle. It landed, but Tyson barely reacted. A dangerous realization settled in one punch wasn't enough. Tyson came forward again, slipping past another jab and unloading a vicious uppercut that scraped just past Jones's chin. Even missing by inches, the power was undeniable. Jones could feel the heat of it, the sheer force that could have ended the night in an instant. He clinched, locking Tyson's arms, trying to neutralize him, but Tyson thrashed like a storm, breaking free before the referee could even intervene. Jones stepped back, resetting, eyes narrowing. He needed to adjust. Then, something unexpected happened. A small feint from Tyson, just a shift in weight, made Jones react with a counter right, but it was a trap. Tyson rolled under it and, in the blink of an eye, fired a left hook that slammed into Jones's body with a deep, sickening thud. Jones's face twitched, his body instinctively folding for a split second before he forced himself upright. But the damage was done. He wasn't just dealing with a hard puncher, Tyson was dissecting him, reading his reactions, setting up destruction. The crowd felt the momentum shift. Jones had the tools, the skill, the reach, but Tyson had found a crack, and he was relentless. Jones tried to slow things down, throwing a front kick to keep distance, but Tyson barreled through it, absorbing the strike just to get closer. Another body shot, then a short right hand that clipped Jones's temple. He staggered, not from power alone, but from the sheer unrelenting pressure. Then, out of nowhere, a new element entered the fight. Jones, instead of retreating, did something no one expected. He stepped into the pocket and threw a spinning elbow, a move he had perfected in MMA, but had never attempted in a boxing ring. The strike was unconventional, risky, and dangerous. Tyson barely had time to react as the elbow whizzed past his cheek, missing by the smallest of margins. The audience gasped at the audacity of it. Tyson's eyes burned with something new: respect, maybe, or a deeper level of aggression. Jones wasn't just surviving. He was willing to gamble, to push boundaries, to turn this into something more than just a boxing match. And that made him even more dangerous. Tyson barely blinked. The spinning elbow had missed, but the message was clear. Jones wasn't here just to survive. He was here to win. A flicker of a grin crossed Tyson's face, something rare in the heat of a fight. Then, without warning, he charged forward again, closing the gap before Jones could fully reset. His right hand shot out like a piston, crashing into Jones's ribs with the force of a battering ram. Jones grimaced, but his feet stayed planted. He wasn't backing down. Instead of retreating, he did something bold. He met Tyson head-on. A rapid combination jab cross, then a short left hook found its mark, snapping Tyson's head slightly to the side. It was a risky exchange, but Jones was betting on his speed, on his ability to land first. For the first time, Tyson took a step back, reassessing. He had faced power before, but Jones's accuracy, his ability to take damage and fire back, made this fight something different. Then, the moment everything changed. Tyson, undeterred, launched another vicious assault. A left hook grazed Jones's chin, followed by a right hand aimed straight for the jaw. Jones, acting on pure instinct, slipped just enough to lessen the impact, but in doing so, he left himself open for the kind of punch that had ended entire careers. Tyson saw the opportunity, pivoted, and unleashed a devastating right uppercut. It landed flush. Jones staggered. His knees buckled for the first time. The crowd erupted, a deafening wave of noise that signaled the fight's turning point. Tyson smelled blood, moving in for the finish, his fists coiling for the knockout sequence that had put away so many before. But just as he threw another hook, Jones did something that left everyone in shock. He dropped to a knee. Not from the impact, but as a tactical move, forcing the referee to step in and create a break. It was genius. The moment gave Jones the precious seconds he needed to recover, to shake off the effects of the uppercut. Tyson paced back, shaking his head, but there was a flicker of acknowledgement in his eyes. Jones had just proven he wasn't going down that easily. The fight resumed, and Jones, instead of playing it safe, did the unthinkable. He pressed forward. He feinted low, baiting Tyson into expecting a body shot, then launched a thunderous overhand right. It landed clean. Tyson stumbled for the first time in the fight. The crowd was on its feet now, caught between disbelief and pure adrenaline. Both men were hurt. Both were running on instinct, pride, and sheer will. The final seconds of the round became a whirlwind of violence. Tyson pressing, Jones countering, each man pouring everything into the fight. Then, just before the bell rang, Jones landed one last shot, a short, compact elbow strike inside the clinch. Perfectly legal, but completely unexpected. Tyson froze for half a second, his body processing the blow before stepping back. The bell rang. The war was over. Both fighters stood there, breathing heavily, eyes locked in mutual respect. There was no immediate celebration, no over-the-top reaction. Just two warriors who had given everything. The judge's decision was announced moments later. A split decision. The result didn't matter as much as what had just unfolded in that ring, an unforgettable battle between two legends, each pushing the other to their absolute limit. Tyson nodded. Jones extended a hand, and in that moment, there was no winner or loser. Only history made.